Hello and welcome to episode number 157 of A VO's Journey. My name is Anthony Pica, and this show is all about helping the new and upcoming voiceover artists grow their business and sidestep all of the crazy things that I seem to step on. I want to thank you all so much for tuning back in and listening. We have a great episode today. I want to talk to you about a very underutilized tool that we have, which is called our voiceover websites. Currently, most of us, if we have them, are using them as, glorified placeholders or, like a little checkoff list, like we've checked that box on our checkoff list that we have, and now we can move on to something that's actually going to make us money, right? But I want to talk about a way for you to actually use your website to make money with voiceover. All right, let's do it.
This is VO's Journey. With your host, the incomparable Anthony Pica.
All right, so today I'm going to be talking to you about using that website that you have or that maybe you've just put up or you're looking to put up to actually make some money. So let's kind of get, right to the punch here that, when we are looking at being successful in any online business, because the reality is, right, we're all running online businesses. What we need to do is we need to do three things, right? We need to first be found in search results. We need to be able to play to the algorithms wherever we're on, whether it's on sites like Fiverr or honestly, whether it's on on Google. Okay, wherever it is, we have to be found in the actual search, the search results. Because if we're not found in the search results, no one's gonna ever see us. Okay. The second thing is we need to be seen. I mean, we need to appeal to people when they see us, meaning that we want them to click on it. Right? We want them to click on our link, on our picture, on our title, whatever we have. We want to entice people either with the title, with a thumbnail, something. We want them to click on us. So the next part is they need to want to click on us. Okay. Then the third thing is once they click on us, they need to buy from us. We want to entice them to buy from us. So that means our sales copy, our setup, the professionalism of our look, but more importantly, our demo, the quality. Are we inspiring people to buy from us? That's really what that next section is about. So again, let's just go over the three things again. You need to first be found in search results, wherever you are, whether it's on a website or whether you're on Google, okay? You need to be found in the search results. Second is, once you're found, you need to entice people to click on you, okay? Whether it's your thumbnail, it's your picture, it's a title, it's a price, whatever, you need people to click on you. And thirdly, once they click on you, they need to be inspired to buy from you. And I hope you're like, taking these words that I'm saying, like inspired and enticing, to heart, right? Because these are words that you really want to, put up on your wall so you look at them every single day, because that's really what we need to do. With as much stuff going on in our world, and my goodness, there's so much going on. There's so much happening, not just the flow of information, but distractions, everything. We've got so much to worry about. We need to be inspiring people, enticing them, inspiring them, moving them to want to work with us. We are going to give them what they need during these crazy times. Okay? So if we look at our websites from the lens, like through the lens of those three things, you can get a better idea of the three things that you need to accomplish. So the first thing, and this is probably the most difficult, I'm going to say, honestly, in certain places like Google, for example, this is probably the most difficult for most of us. And that's actually coming up in the search results, right? Because now more than ever, especially in our industry, it's becoming a lot more crowded for many reasons. But one, right now, if you're not making sure that you're not growing during this time, because let's be honest, we are a business that helps. We are a business that have access to the global market, and there's nothing more important right now besides safety than communication, right? So in our world right now, safety is number one, but the next thing is communication. That's the most important thing besides safety. And guess what? That's what we do. We are in the communication business. So we need to make sure that we are doing everything we can to get in front of as many people as possible, because they're going to buy our services to get our help. Okay? So in order to be found, you have to do a couple of things. And I want to first lay something to rest. If you've listened to any of my previous podcasts a long time ago, you'll notice that, I've spoken about websites in the past, but they've been a lot. And, again, this podcast is, all about my journey as a voiceover artist, starting from, my hobo fort to, running my six-figure business now. And the differences and the time and also the differences in the things that I've learned. And when I first started out, I talked a lot about websites and how as voice actors, we really didn't need them, unless we were going to pour in the effort, okay, into making those websites findable, right, and the search results, then it really was a waste of our time. Most people, and I was instructed to do this too, by multiple sources, was to put up a single page, right? We put up a single page, one page. It has just really quick information, like you're filling out, a contact form, your demo, maybe a picture of you, and a brief explanation of what you do, as well as your equipment. Okay, and that looks snazzy, and that's what I was instructed on, right? That's what I was going to have. That's what I should have. So that's what I did. I actually paid for some services through someone that I won't say their names, but through people, through a well-known person online who instructed that, and I paid for those services, and I had a website that they promoted, and and I had that for a little while, and you know what? It looked good, but nothing happened. And now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that you're supposed to put up a website and something is supposed to happen. But the point is that the website idea of one page, I think that's from a broken model. And let me explain to you why. Because that model of having one page website, that's like an online business card. Okay? And what you would do is you would reach out to people, you would email them, you would call them on the phone, which is wonderful. And I'm not saying that that's not still a part of marketing that anybody can do. But once that happens, and they would say, yeah, you know what, we are looking for a voice actor. Can we get your information? You'd be like, sure. Here's a link to my site that has my demos on it. And if you need to contact me, you can contact me there. And bam, you send them email and the link to your site. All right, you're golden. Okay, that's a good way to build your business. However, that was a good way to build your business. I'm not putting anyone out. I'm not claiming that some people can't still do that. But I am telling you from years of experience now and working at this for years and trying so many different things that unfortunately, I have launched multiple email campaigns through multiple different methods, trying multiple different ways, mass emails, personalized emails, hours and hours, weeks, months, and over years now. I've also done phone calling campaigns. I've done them personally. I've hired people to do them. And I'm going to tell you, and this is just one person's results, I have had next to no return on investment. Zero. I mean, literally zero from that method of marketing. Now, look, again, I'm not saying you might be the person who's like, Anthony, you're an amateur. And I probably am. I can tell you, I am not afraid to admit, I'm just not doing a good job. I'm not figuring out the email marketing and the phone calling. It's not working. It's not working. And yes, you can tell people, hey, take your time. It takes time. That's true. Now, do I want to put that on have somebody doing it? In a perfect world, I'd have people sending out emails? Sure. But I think the reality is if you want email marketing or phone calling to work, I'm getting off the subject here of the website, but if you want those things to work, you and I are going to have to do way more than we thought, you know what I mean, we could do. Meaning we need to send thousands and thousands and thousands of emails a week. I'm not joking. I mean, I've been doing this for years now and having no results from email marketing or phone calls. And, it is what it is. But yet I get work, loads of work every single day online. So clearly, people are buying voiceovers. But clearly, what they're not doing is buying voiceovers that old way as much as they are the new way, which is online. Okay? And they're buying them through websites. Now, first lesson, and I just wanted to clear that up. So that means that if you are one of these people who is told the same thing I was, and that's you need this one-page website in order to, have your business up and running, and, people are going to go to your site and fill out the contact form, and you're just going to have these great emails, and they're just going to pay you, and everything's going to be happy, hunky-dory. You know what? It may have worked years and years ago, but and again, this is one person's opinion. I feel like for me, it has never worked. Never. So it led me to look at things differently and say, okay, my website is not being successful. Well, let's apply these 3 pieces of criteria that I laid out in the beginning of this podcast. The first one, am I being found, right? Am I being found in any search results? And I have to tell you, the first answer is a big fat no. I'm not being found anywhere. You are never going to be found with a one-page website selling a voiceover service when there are millions of other sites that are just loaded with, just incredible, enticing content for the Google algorithm and just, for example, how do you plan to get, in search results above voices.com or Fiverr or Voquent or Upwork or People Per Hour or, Voice Realm or any of these sites who do nothing all day but literally post stuff on their site, add content, add more voice actors, add layer after layer after layer of authority. You're not going to with one page. So what I started to do was I looked at my site and said, okay, well, it can't be one page. I'm going to have to build out a robust site. And if I'm going to spend all this time, I mean, this is a career, so it's not like this is going to happen overnight, right? This is my future, so I'm going to continue to build over time and then keep adding. So that's what I've started to do. And I've been doing that for a little while now, and I want to share with you what's starting to happen from those results. I have built out my website to include multiple things, but more importantly, more recently, I've started adding more frequent blog posts. Okay, now listen, in search results, right, you are going to be found when people search something like, for example, how much does it cost to hire a voice actor? You know what I mean? I'm sure that is a search that someone would type into Google. How much does a voice actor cost? Okay. How much does a voiceover cost? That is called a long tail keyword. Okay. And that keyword, when you type in that phrase, right, Google's going to come up with a series of websites that the bots that Google has, the algorithm that Google has, will searches through the internet, all right, instantaneously, and determines based on a variety of different things, authority, material, keywords, titles, usability, everything. They're going to pop up a list of results. And our goal is to be at the top of front page number 1. Just like when I talk about Fiverr at nauseum, about the whole idea is to get on the first page and to be seen. Because if you are on the first page and you are seen, you're going to get work. Because I've worked with so many voice actors, and I'm here to tell you, talent, we're not lacking it, everybody. Ability, it's not a problem. Sure, can some people improve? Yes, we can all improve and get better. But I'm telling you, honestly, what we do is usually good for 90% of the work out there. So that means that the reason we're not getting work is because we're not being found first and foremost. So one of the things, like I said, that I started to do is I've started to make sure that I'm optimizing my site, okay, so that it fits in to a bunch of different things. Like, for example, I'm using blog content, meaning I'm writing articles. I've hired somebody to write articles for me so that we have optimized articles based on titles and information. So basically I put together titles and information that I want. I have a person who writes them for me, and I put them up on the site, and that works. Now, I've written articles in the past and had them on the site, but now I'm trying to double down and do even more. All right. And as these results happen, what I find is that I'm actually showing up, my website is showing up more and more in search results. Now, I get a lot of searches, or I get a lot of traffic from the Facebook group, right? I get a lot of traffic from YouTube. I get a lot of traffic from the podcast, from social media, Twitter, Instagram, because I'm so heavily on these platforms that I get a lot of traffic from them. But I don't hardly get any traffic really from Google unless someone types in my name. Like if they type in Anthony Pica, I get traffic all day from that. I get a bunch of searches a day. But how do people, most people who are searching for voiceover, they're not going to know Anthony Pica. So they're going to type in words like voiceover, need a voiceover, need a professional voice actor, these types of terms, and they're going to type them into Google, and then search results are going to come up. You can get on that front page a couple different ways. One is through, like I'm telling you, by building out your sites, adding optimized content, making sure your site loads fast, making sure your site has proper search engine optimization, which is called SEO, which I'm sure you've heard about, making sure that you have a lot of content, okay, so that your site can be found. It can, you have a site that is, the sitemap flows well, meaning like your site is just set up and it's optimized perfectly to be found, and you're adding content, which builds your authority, which builds how many ways you can be found on Google. Or you can pay. You can pay money to get at the top of Google with ads, which many people do, okay? And there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, but, depending on which way you want to go, most of us don't have a great deal of money to be competing with Fiverr, who spends, probably like $500,000 a month just in the US. Okay, I mean, that's how much they're spending, guys. Literally. There's no way that you and I can compete against that. But what we can compete against is really making optimized content. Okay, making our sites have a lot of backlinks. That's another thing, meaning like from social media, from other sites, from different things where people link to our content. I didn't say this was easy. Okay, this can be a challenge. But over time, you do it slowly, it's going to build up. Okay, that's the first thing. You've got to continue to build content on your site. And by the way, you've got to have a better method. Here's another thing. I learned right off the bat that the whole contact form thing just wasn't working nowadays, because the reality is that most people, they're not buying stuff like that. They want to go online, hit the book now button, or how much does it cost me? I just want to see. I don't want to talk to anybody. I just want to purchase it, send you my email, give you directions, send it back to me. Now, are there studios who like to deal differently? Yes, of course. But I guarantee you that because of the new way we do business in the world now, and not just because of COVID-19, but in general, more and more businesses are doing things themselves because they can hire people like us who do it from home. So they are bypassing studios. Okay, so that means A, we either get on board or we don't. Well, I don't know about you, but I like to be ahead of the trend. I don't like to be behind it. So I'm on board, and I want you to be on board too. So you need to get onto your site, and you need to find ways to offer buttons that people can purchase from you. So like on my site, I set up this whole thing. There was packages. They could buy 1 to 150 words for X amount of dollars, and that included XYZ. Or they could buy 151 words to 300 words for this amount of money. And it covered this, right? And they got the rights for this, and it covered X amount of revisions. And I did all of the things that I have learned from the websites like Fiverr, like Upwork, like Voices, Voice123, People Per Hour, all these sites who are killing it with search traffic and getting voiceovers. All right. I am using the things that they've pioneered and incorporating that into my stuff. Plus, I have a really good player, which I still need to build out even more because I have so many different videos and things that are happening. Okay. But the point I'm trying to make to you is this is what you need to be doing in order to get traffic and business through your website. So I talked a little bit about, right, number 2, after we're found, the second part is that you need to have some enticing things for them to click on, some titles. So you're doing blog posts, you're doing these things, they click on those posts. When they come to those, right? So that's another thing. Like we talk about, BuzzFeed and these different places that built their entire businesses on clickable titles. I mean, who would have ever thought these places that are just straight up gossip places, their titles are so appealing that people will click on them. They live by titles. Okay, by making really incredible titles. There's so much written about this. There's so much on YouTube. But these things, and now I'm talking generally about Google and getting, titles, because a lot of times you can't, there's no pictures on Google, right? It's just links to websites. But, on Fiverr, I talk all the time your profile picture and how important a great headshot is and all those things so people click on you. Right? It's about them clicking on you. So that's a really important aspect to look at is your title. Are you making some unique titles? Remember, you and I are just not going to compete, all right, face-to-face, head-to-head with Fiverr or Voices.com or these huge mammoth sites for voiceover, for that keyword. I mean, there's just no way. Okay, unless we outbid them for ads, which it'd be really hard to do. Okay, maybe specialty ads, sure. Now, can you do ads and stuff on social media? Absolutely, but I'm not going to pretend and sit here and tell you that I've had success with it because I have not. However, I've not launched any ad campaigns ever since I've started to build out multiple parts of my website more. So that's something else. But what I'm trying to get to you is the holy grail of our business or any online business is to have traffic from Google and to get get on as many first page searches as possible. Because if you have that, we are no longer bound by any website or anything. We are control of ourselves. The world is the internet now. I know you know that, but it's worth repeating. The world is the internet and the internet is the world. So we live there. We have to be great on there if we want to have a viable business online. Okay? And it's the world. So, you got to really think in that terms. The last thing that we talk about is the third phase, right? Is when they get onto your site, they've got to be enticed to buy. So you've got to set up your site so it flows easy. There's multiple places for them to be able to buy from you. They understand right away who you are, what you do. They can listen to your demo, but more importantly, there's information about you. There's options. There's ways that they can quickly move from beginning to end. Okay. Fiverr always touts this thing that they have they're under 15 minutes from the time someone gets on their sites and buys. That's incredible. 15 minutes. Do you know what I mean? That's amazing. That means how optimized that site is for having people purchase something. So what I'm saying to you is that's exactly what you want to do is you want to get your site to a place where it is just, every part of it is built to get someone to buy, sign up for your email list, something, okay, from you. Okay, and that is exactly what you should be spending a lot of your extra time doing too, building out your website or putting in systems where it's continually growing. Okay, it's so important, and we all overlook it so much because it's not easy, and it does cost money unless you teach yourself. Okay, and that is, so this is what I do. I take an even keel approach, meaning that Firstly, I will learn everything I can myself. I will attempt to do whatever I can myself so I am fully understanding what I'm trying to do and what I'm trying to accomplish. I will make sure I know what I'm trying, like what my goals are. I am trying to make sure I understand how it should look. And then as that happens, I slowly start to parcel out that work to other people so that I am aware of what needs to happen. I know what looks good and what doesn't look good. So the problem is if you hire someone to do all this and you have no idea what it's supposed to look like, you're not going to know whether it's working or not, right? I mean, that's the big challenge with it. So you want to know what's working, what's not working before you hire someone. And that's really important. So listen, I hope that all of this has helped you just wrap your mind around another viable option to build your business more now than ever today is your website and building that website, getting links to your website so people can get there. But the issue is, and I'll tell you this, when I first started, I never would put links to my website because I was kind of embarrassed of it. It was embarrassing because it was not a site that I was proud to send people to. And I thought, man, if I send people to my site, they'd be like, whoa, I don't want to work with that guy. You know what I mean? And if that's the case, then I think, your path forward is clear. We need to make, or you need to find someone to work with, like me, shameless plug, I know, but find someone to work with that's going to help you turn your business into a professional looking and sounding business across the board, whether it's on websites like Fiverr or Voices or whatever. And you know how I feel about voices.com. All right. They're a big site. There's no denying it, but I don't like them. I mean, I don't like them from the standpoint of, again, I did that podcast a while ago about purchasing both to voices.com and Voice123. And I tried. I did so many auditions. I posted so many things. And, maybe one job, I get more than that, you know what I mean, by doing the samples and the stuff that I preach about all the time. Okay. But the point I'm trying to make is that we need to be putting effort into the things that are going to make the difference in your business today, not things that made a difference 15 years ago. Okay. We have to move forward because honestly, 15 years ago, the people who were buying voiceovers are no longer buying them today. The people buying voiceovers today are the people who are online. 15 years ago, they were in school. They were in primary school, right? And they grew up with the internet. So they like to buy things on the internet. And now more than ever, we're all buying everything on the internet. I mean, now more than ever, we're buying it all on the internet. So I'll stop yelling at you. And I just want you to take that in consideration. Okay, really start looking at your website as not a placeholder, a waste of your money, but an opportunity. But it can't be an opportunity unless you actually build it out. All right? Oh, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Hey, listen, if you haven't had a chance, please, leave a review. If you like the show, leave a review over on iTunes or something for the podcast. Other than that, head over to a VO's Journey Facebook group if you'd like to join a great community. Or if you'd like to grow your business on places like Fiverr, we have an amazing group called Fiverr Elite. Love to have you in that. We meet every Saturday. We have multiple top-rated sellers in that group. We do reviews, use analytics to grow our businesses and really make the best out of the platform that I feel right now is, number one in the world when it comes to finding voiceover work. It is quite amazing. So I hope that you have a great week. Happy Monday. Thank you for listening, and I will talk to you soon. Peace.